Thank you, Dr. Derek. I will hand it over to you and for your presentation. So thank you very much, everyone.
All right. Peace and blessings, everyone. And thank you very much. And welcome to everyone coming to this webinar. And welcome to all our guests on this webinar. We do hope and trust that everyone is A-OK in spite of whatever issues is going on in the world today. We hope and trust that everyone and their family here on the webinar is okay. Apart from Edmira, and we definitely send up prayers for Edmira with her chest issues at this time. And we are growing the Chinese bamboo tree with Onpassive. That is what we are doing this evening, growing the Chinese bamboo tree. So for those of us who don't know anything about the Chinese bamboo tree may look really simple and you may end up underestimating it. But who would have thought that it is stronger than steel, act as an antibacterial, can be a deodorant, can be consumed in addition to many other properties. Bamboo, the Chinese bamboo plays a very important role in Chinese and many other Asian cultures. Because of its uniqueness, the Chinese bamboo plant is very versatile and has a lot of uses. That is why this article aims to give you some facts about the plant that will probably blow your mind. The Chinese bamboo seed, that is the first thing we are going to look at this afternoon or this evening or today. 24 hours in the day, so whether it's night or day, it doesn't matter. Today, most bamboo grows best in deep, well-drained, fertile soil, and they generally prefer natural or to slightly acidic soils. If your soil is deficient, the extra time and expense of improving it is usually well worth the effort, especially if you want to see faster results. And so therefore, we are going to start with the seed of Onpassive. The seed of Onpassive is the love for humanity. And that is what the overall foundational fact of Onpassive is the love for humanity, especially coming from our CEO, Ash Mufareh, which is related to the acronym CATMO. I heard a song about CATMO some time ago by our illustrious Teresa and Teriska, and I tell you, it has swept me off my feet. I'm not going to attempt to do that, but CATMO, it's a complete digital online solution, artificial intelligence, targeted traffic, money, more money, and much more money with time freedom and abundance of living. And of course, that is under the umbrella of CATMO, our acronym, CATMO. Generational wealth, that is what it has to offer you as a guest if you choose to get in. Residual income, sales funnel, landing pages, and autoresponders, and much more that will be in your business. The Chinese bamboo, plant it. Simply plant them in a ground and add an inch of mulch. If your bamboo species are less hardy, or you have very cold climates, then you should keep them indoor until it reaches a height of 12 inches. They are ready to be transplanted into the ground. The thing about nurturing the seed is a Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. Can you imagine? 5 years. You have to water it, the ground where you plant it. You have to fertilize it, the ground where you plant it. Not seeing anything for 5 years, but you have to keep watering it and fertilizing it in the ground where it has been planted every single day. You have to water it and water it every day. It doesn't break through the ground for 5 years. So for 5 years, you have to be watering that that place that you plant that seed. Preferably, you maybe put a little marker, a little fencing around that area so that you'll remember that that's where you planted. Because we're talking about 5 years. 5 years. Therefore, nurturing Onpassive. 1, our vision is our Onpassive. Our vision is for Onpassive to provide fair and equal opportunity, tools, and strategy for people starting as founders to earn passive income online for life. Nurturing Onpassive is 2, our CEO, Ash Mufari. Mr. Ash Mufari is a man with a vision for the future, a selfless person who thinks less about himself and more about people struggling to make a stand on their own to lead a prosperous life. The result is Onpassive, an AI, artificial intelligence driven automated platform providing the much needed business solution. And the best part is that it is hands-free. Wonderful. Nurturing Onpassive is Mr. Ash Mufari himself. Attended the American Intercontinental University for a master's degree in information technology and e-commerce. It is at this time he understood how the internet has the potential to change the world. Nurturing Onpassive is also the products of Onpassive. And as you can see, we have, you know, about 20 products roughly ready to go. 15 to 20, 10 to 20 will be launched on the day Onpassive with Ash Mufari give that go ahead. And we have products like O Academy, O Mail, and these all start with Onpassive. So it will be Onpassive Academy, Onpassive Mail, Onpassive Post, but we cut it and say O Capture, O Virtual, O Bless, O Connect, O Wallet, O Create, O Dit, O Shop, etc., etc. And so these are the products that has been nurtured so far, and we have to nurture them for 5 years. We only gone 3 out of the 5 so far. Remember, the Chinese bamboo takes 5 years. Let us look at one of the nurturing product that we would like to itemize, and that is Onet, especially since of yesterday's misfortune of Facebook. The first social media site was 6 Degree. Many of us maybe never know that, but that was in 1997 that 6 Degrees was pretty popular with users until 2003 when MySpace, one that I come to understand and know, MySpace came into the picture August 1, 2003, where you could actually play your favorite music. And so we look at many social medias, many social medias that we have today. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. We have so many social media today. Where a 13-year-old, at 13 years of age, can have an account legally, but unmonitored platform for predators. And so predators are taking over these platforms, especially the social media platform, in respective to where our young children are concerned. And we know that less than 13-year-old is being on many of the social media. So it's even worse. It's frightening because there's no one really to monitor these social media platforms. And so therefore we have cyberbullying, we have child molesters, we have invasion of privacy, we have identity theft, and the list goes on and on and on. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. We know that ONet is going to be a revolutionary social network platform, helps you to connect with friends and family and discover new ones. New feed and timeline, meaningful discussions, reactions, meaningful messaging and inbox, notification and groups, events and marketplace. ONet, where the security of ONet will be monitored and be able to track with OTracker. So if we have those type of predators, then OTracker will find them. So we have less fear with ONet. Nurturing Onpassive is our executive headquarters in America, Orlando, Florida. And also our operational headquarters right there in Hyderabad, high-tech city, known as Silicon Valley of India. And with a staff of over 800 and growing and growing and growing. And if you check Google Map, which I don't think anyone is manipulating Google Map at this time. And so there is a presence right there in Google Map. And so the nurturing of Onpassive also encompass our customers, because without customers, your business just fail. And so having many, whole heap, enough, plenty, enormous, huge, gigantic amount of customers standing at the door at opening for your business is what every business owner would want. Every single business owner would want a line standing at their door when they're going to open those doors. And so fortunately, we have approximately 960,000 potential customers standing at the door, ready and waiting for the doors to be open for business, and growing by 2,000 to 3,000 customers daily. Of course, these are also our founding members. Nurturing Onpassive is also the costs. The costs. The seed of the Chinese bamboo is approximately $8. But then if you want the ground to plant the seed, then we're talking about anywhere from 5,000 to about 90,000 for a quarter acre of land to plant that seed. So we're not talking about 5,000. Now we're definitely not talking about 9,000 and $8. We are only talking about the nurturing of Onpassive is $97 to be a founder. So all it costs for you as a guest is $97, and you can be a founder slash customer slash reseller of Onpassive. And so there is also a one-time out of pocket of $250 approximately, or thereabout. So it can be a little more, it can be a little less. We are not sure as yet. But to become active in Onpassive is to pay that $250 when we launch, because that is when Onpassive is going to go to work for your business. So one time out of pocket and then out of profit every month. So which means Onpassive is ensuring that you will make profits. Currently, we are in pre-launch. The next thing will be beta testing and founders launch. And then finally, official global launch to the public. Once Onpassive tech and legal team gives the green light, that is when Onpassive is going to launch. When Onpassive is going to launch, when the legal team, notice I said legal team, because this is not a fly-by-night business. We are presently in over 212 countries in the world. And there are 249 countries in the world. So there are a lot of legal matters that the legal team has to take care of before we can launch. The bamboo tree is one of the hardest material in the world, despite of how it looks, such that it has strength greater than that of steel. Wow. Additionally, it can endure being way better than the normal concrete, making it a really strong material. Wow. These attributes enable the tree to be used as bicycle frame. Wow. Because of its unbelievable strength, as well as being light. Chinese bamboo can also be used in building, replacing the normal used wood because of its flexibility, since it can bend without breaking. Very important. And so after 5 years, once it break ground, once it break through the ground, it will grow 90 feet approximately in 5 weeks. And that is awesome. Can you imagine? 5 weeks to grow 90 feet tall. That is awesome. Once Onpassive break ground, it will grow into a super unicorn company in a short time. And that is good for you and I as founders. With Onpassive unique patented pay plan, we all get paid in real time in any currency we choose through our world payment or wallet. Once the founders launch start, Onpassive will run massive marketing campaign using artificial intelligence and machine learning technology to get customers signed up in your business, not in Onpassive business, but in your individual business. These customers are actively looking for the products and services Onpassive has to offer. So build a strong, powerful Chinese bamboo tree today with Onpassive. Get back to the person who invited you to see this presentation and ask them for their link for you to become a founder of the strong Chinese bamboo tree. Thank you very much.
Wow, Dr. Derek, fantastic. And what a great analogy for us to all take on board. You know, it really is amazing what the bamboo tree can do. So thank you very much. So
excellent.
Yeah, I believe we may have some guests here today. So we're just sort of going to request that if you are a guest, please put your hands up if you have any questions. And we'll open it up for the guests first. If you don't want to speak, then please pop your question into the chat box and we will get the question from there. So if Dr. Derek, is there anyone that you would like to bring on first before we have any questions? I can't see any hands up yet. Maybe we could bring Marty on to have a word. That would be lovely if he's there.
Kind of loud here right now, but I'll try.
Oh my God.
If you noticed yesterday, which was pretty cool, Ash brought up that we really don't have any competition. And I've been thinking about that in the last few months anyway. What is competition? That means you line two things up and you do the pros and the cons of each one, and then you pick the one you want. And we don't have any competition, if you really think about it. The value of what we're given is stratospheres above anyone else. There is no number two. At least in a race, you have a guy go across the finish line, number one, number two, number three, and they go to the finals. But if number one has already passed the finish line when the gun goes off, there's really a race for number two and number three, correct? So I look at the products and you say, well, if you were to line them up, even O'Connect or something against Zoom, and then you look at the benefits, what does this have for this price? What does this have for this price? It's not on the same page. There's nothing that's even close. And I noticed Ash came on when he heard us talking about value and competition. And it's very arrogant to say we don't have competition, but it's fact. If you look at anything we have and you do it, because what's going to happen is nobody's in love with Zoom, okay? Nobody's in love with these products. They're in love with what it'll do for them and what value they'll get. Like if you just took a marketer, a half-decent marketer, and he spends $4,000 or $5,000 a month and hasn't got one sale yet. Let's say he spends $5,000 a month, not one thing sold yet, not one. Now, to be able to take all those tools that he uses, Aweber, for follow-up emails, ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels sounds great. When it came out, they told everybody, you come here, you click, you drag, you got a website. Not 100% true. If you go to ClickFunnels and you go to make a page, it's not as easy as it sounds. And if you want your page to convert, there's a good chance you don't know how to do that. Not putting you down, it's just the way it is. Making a page that converts and works as a funnel it takes a long time to figure out how to do it. Now, then they say, well, you got a beautiful site, you got great products, go sell them. Well, I'll just put it online and everybody will run up to my website. That's not how it works. Your website's there with 1 trillion other websites. It means nothing. I don't care how fancy it is, how beautiful it is. You don't have traffic, you don't have business. Then you look at the traffic. I've been driving traffic for 10 years. I do targeted traffic, but you know what it consists of? 2 months to set up an ad that you hope works on a system called Facebook that has a moving target every month. The rules change constantly. So you do an ad, it finally is okayed by Facebook and nobody touches it. Why? Because it doesn't convert and nobody likes the ad and it doesn't make sense to them, so they don't click on it. Now, every time somebody goes by or it has a view, I have to pay for it. So this goes on and on and on. Now you go back and you say, okay, I'm going to touch it up a little bit. So you make one little adjustment. Could be an image, it could be this. Okay, now you send it back out again. Oh, you got to click. You're getting leads for like $7, $8 a lead. It's expensive. Nobody bought yet, but you're still paying. This goes on month after month. Finally, you get a half decent ad. It's doing okay. It has cost you a few $1,000s to get it really, really going good. And yes, you can start doing it. Okay, now you're building a team. You're starting to make money. And guess what? Everyone on your team doesn't know what you're doing. So you say, well, I'll help you. And that's a lie. You can't duplicate what you learned in 4 or 5 years and hand it to Fred or Sally or Mary and expect them to be able to do what you're doing. They don't know how. So it's been rigged against everybody for a long, long time. Now, the 3% or 2% are happy, not happy, but they're satisfied because they do have the skills and they jump from one shiny project to the other, just like everybody else. The difference is, if a guru jumps, he's bringing 200,000 people on his list with him. He's going to succeed. How long? You never know. 6 months, 7 months, and they even move on. So part of the 3% aren't making residual income either. I'll tell you that right now. You can name a handful of people online that have what they call residual income. The rest of them, they're working as hard as they can to maintain that status, whatever it might be. With Unpassive, guess what? Day one, you're a pro. Your ads are going to be seen. They're going to follow up. They're going to make the sale. They're going to build your wealth as time goes on. Now, do they create wealth? No, the answer is right. The wealth is there. There's a half a quadrillion dollars floating around the world right now. All you got to do is get a rake and rake some of it towards you. Ash has a huge rake, huge, and he's giving it to everyone. He's even raking for us. We just have to stand there and take it. So to compare with anybody, or there's some kind of competition, or the second best thing, look, like Dr. Derek is full of knowledge. If I brought somebody into the business and they're at stage one, I'm going to send them stage two is going to be Dr. Derek. Why? Because now that concrete tells them this is what you really have. This is it. If you really want to know, this is what you have. And people need to know. Do they want to? Some don't. Some don't want to know. But it's really good that you know, because the more you know, the more you can explain to other people. But what we have right now is a gift from God, my opinion. I mean, I've done this for 17 years, built many, many teams. A lot of people hear 1,000 people hear, oh, this is great. No, it's not great. Because you're looking in people's face and you say, hey, I'm going to help you make money. No, you're not. You lied to them. Maybe you didn't mean to, but you lied. If everybody was doing so great, why is it the same 3% every month? Different business, same people. I don't care where you go, it's the same ones. Because it doesn't work. And I saw that it didn't work. And when he's done, all of us, from Norell to Lynn, to Dr. Derek, to David Switzer, to Polly, to Patricia Parent, all of us are going to win. How fast? We're not guaranteed speed, but we're guaranteed winning. That's enough. That's enough. If you can share it, and tell everybody, give them the facts. You ask somebody, do you have a business at home? No. Why? I don't want to do this, and this. I hate doing this. My friends run from me. My family thinks I'm nuts. Great. I got the perfect thing for you. You don't have to recruit. It's 100% done for you. The digital products, you don't have to put them in your closet. You pay one time out of pocket and the company does everything else for you. Boom, they're in. If they're not in, buy a shovel, hand it to them and say, follow me to my backyard. Have them dig the hole. There's no use you doing it. Let them jump in and bury them, because they're dead. They're dead. Not everybody's a founder. Just share it the best you can. But as soon as you wrap your head around this, I know a lot of people sit back and say, yeah, but I'm just me. What do I know? You don't need to know. Ash has eliminated all that. He's making it even for everybody. His goal is to make as many people successful as he can. Who do you know that wants to do that? No one. And he's not joking. He can't wait to unleash it. You see him on the webinars. He's jumping up and down. And there's somebody there probably behind the screen going, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Because you can see he's constantly stopping himself from going too far. But man, we're in a great spot, man, and take advantage of it. And don't go back one day and say, man, I wish I'd have told crazy Uncle Bob, because you wish you did. You really wish you did. And everybody that you bring in now as a founder, whether you buy a position, if you can afford it, only if you can afford it, is another cash register, because everybody's getting the same thing. So if you get two people that's going to duplicate your time. The most precious thing on earth is time. You can't buy it back, but you can duplicate it. You have 168 hours a week. Guess how many hours a week you're working if you have two? Double that. You are getting more time for the same amount of time. It's a beautiful thing. So share it if you can. Get people involved. Your team will grow when the light bulb goes off. If people sit back and I'm not going to do anything, you're right, they won't. But if you get them involved, you'll see people go, oh, this is bigger than I thought it was. Right? You see it every day. And what do? I go from webinar to webinar looking for the diamonds in the rough. And what do? I report back to Ash? You darn right. This guy here, this woman here, this guy here, because that's what makes this company strong. It's people. It's not the gadgets. It's not the products. That's not it. Why this company is different than any other company is because we're about to hit 1 million people that think alike, have the heart the same. It's powerful, powerful, powerful. and we're all part of it, and everybody's as important as the next person. You don't need to be Marty DeGrom. I can barely stand him myself, but be good at what you want to do. If you give a presentation, do it. If you can do a like, do it. People say, well, what I'm doing doesn't matter. What is a million ripples in the water? It's a tidal wave. We can all do a little bit and it'll make a big impact. I know I covered everything because I got to do it because it's semi-quiet. But anyway, that's all I got. And Derek, fantastic job as always. So.
Thank you very much, Marty. Really, really appreciate it. And I know that you are a man of wisdom, especially when it comes on to Onpassive. And just to follow up a little on what you said, if you could permit me, Nerel. Thank you. There's no comparison. I said this a couple of times and people look at me a little weird, that we cannot compare Onpassive because this is a business that has never been done before. So I don't know how you're going to compare it to something that has never been done before. In all my years that I know about vehicle, I have never heard or see a person compare a Lamborghini to a PT Cruiser. Even though they have tires, both of them have tires, both of them have doors, both of them have windscreen wipers and what have you. But I've never heard a Lamborghini and a PT Cruiser in the same conversation to compare. So we don't need to compare. A Lamborghini is just a Lamborghini. And if we're talking about a Lamborghini, we will just be talking about a Lamborghini. And that's it. If we're talking about a Rolls Royce, we'll just be talking about a Rolls Royce. You're not going to compare a Rolls Royce, not even to a Honda card, even though, you might love Honda cards, but you're not going to compare a Rolls Royce with a Honda card. It's just not in the same conversation. So we don't need to compare Onpassive with any other business. Onpassive is the first it has been done, the first it ever has been done. And so just keep it as a business by itself and let us get in as founders and let us just be the mindset. And this is what the next thing I always talk about, the mindset. Let this mindset be a mindset of business. Kind of take your mind out of the job and put it on business, especially on passive business. So learn all you can about Onpassive. The people who study currencies, who look for false, counterfeit. None of them go and study the counterfeit. No, all they do is study the real, genuine currency so that they can know fake. So you don't need to be studying counterfeit business. Let us just study Onpassive and know as much as we can about Onpassive. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Derek. That's fantastic. I know we don't have any questions as yet. Is what I would like you to explain or is about, people I don't think understand about, say, a founder position and then once out of pocket. I think if we have guests here this evening, it might be nice for you to explain or run through that just on itself as to what that actually means. So if you don't mind explaining that to our people here tonight.
Okay, thank you very much, Narelle. Appreciate it again. One time out of your pocket. It means that, first of all, the $97, let us look at that first. The $97 you are going to come out of your pocket, which means you are going to pay. It's your money that you have in the bank or you save up under the mattress or you have into a cookie jar or somewhere about the place. You have it. And so you pay that $97 one time out of your pocket, never again. And then when it comes to launch, which is launching to the public, which is, when Ash and his team announces it, then it is going to be approximately 250 thereabout. Little less, little more, we don't know. Will be also out of your pocket. So you need to start saving towards that, especially if you're a founder now, or you're just coming in as a founder, please to save towards that. So as it comes official, and if you have more than one account, then you need to be saving 500 if you have two accounts, or 600, you know, somewhere in that ballpark to take care of two accounts, or, you know, 750, 800 to take care of 3 accounts. Okay, now it will be one time out of your pocket, which means after launch, Onpassive is going to now go to work for your business, because all of us is in business for ourselves. So Onpassive is now going to work for your business, for your business, for Richard business, for James business, for Martic business, for Teresa, Teriska, Nerel, everybody. Onpassive is going to work for your own business, with sales funnel, with landing pages, with emails, repeat emails, you know, continuously, you know, communicating with that person who land on your page, on your website, sorry, land on your website and want to purchase. Onpassive AI, machine learning technology, and all of those things that is building is going to take you through the whole process. Take that person, I should say, that person on your website, take them through that entire process right up until they become a reseller or a customer. Well, a customer first and then a reseller if they want. They have to be paying for, as a customer, they have to be paying for that product every month. And that is how you get paid. Now, also, that money that they continue to purchase your product with, it will also go towards your monthly subscription. So that is where the preceding months of subscription will come from. It will be from those customers that now come in and is paying monthly. That is going to first take care of your monthly subscription, and that will be placed in your funding wallet, and then your O wallet, after that is taken care of for the month, then the rest of money will go over into your O wallet, where you can now attach your bank account and draw that in real time. You don't have to wait until month end. You don't have to wait until fortnightly. You don't have to wait until Friday. You can do that in real time. As the money is there, you can take it. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Great explanation. So we understand that, you know, if we come in as a founder, we have one out-of-pocket payment to become a founder, something that's not readily available anywhere that I've ever heard about. Somewhere where, you know, the likes of Microsoft, Apple, Facebook even never asked us to be a founder within their company. You know, they kept it very close to their chest. That's the big thing, you know, that this is an opportunity which doesn't come across your laptop or across your lap at any given time. You know, I've been searching for a long time also for something that was able to give me that residual income, but also something that where I didn't have to do a lot, you know. With Onpassive, they say you can come in and be passive or active. Now, I'm not quite sure, do we have somebody here who would like to speak a little bit about, you know, the Onpassive, passive or active, you know, because I think it's important that people understand, you know, how that works, you know, because we do say you can be passive. So Lynn, are you there? Maybe you would like to explain a little bit about the active or passive. Thank you.
Certainly. Well, passive is also called residual income, and it refers to the fact that the income that we're going to be earning through Onpassive will continue to come in to our online wallets. It's going to come in on a regular basis, even if we're asleep, sick, in bed, on holiday. this income continues to flow into our online wallets. And how does this happen? Well, it's because we're earning one of the sources of our income, not the only one, but initially will be commission. And commission is earned on sales made by the customers that are placed into your customer base, or customers that you brought into your customer base. Either way, you're going to be earning a commission on each and every person who is in your customer base. So this is why we call it passive income, because even if you're not actively doing anything, this money is going to flow into your online wallet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And in fact, this income is going to simply increase over time because your customer base is going to continue to grow. And as your customer base grows, there's more sales being made in your base, and that's more money in your pocket. So I believe that's it. Well, the difference is if it's not passive income, you're trading time for money. When you're sick in a regular job, like a 9-to-5 job, you're ill, you don't go to work, the money doesn't come in. If you have your own business, like maybe you're a carpenter and you can't do a job, the money stops because you're trading time for money. But this is not the case with Onpassive. And I believe this passive income is something all of us want, right? You want to be able to know and have peace that this money will continue to come in no matter what you do. This is what passive income is about. And it's a beautiful thing that all of us want. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. I just wanted, if you could touch on the bit about being active, what that actually means. You know, people can come in and be active within Onpassive.
Sure. Well, let's compare passive and active. So everyone coming into Onpassive has the option to be either passive or active. If you want to be passive, this means you're letting Onpassive do the work for you. Onpassive as well as AI will do the work for you. So if you want to be 100% passive, you're going to join Onpassive, become a founder. When the company launches, you're going to pay the activation fee, at which time the company and AI will go to work for you. So this is when the company will generate a customer flow for you. And this is how you're going to be making money. And again, as you see in this process, you've done absolutely nothing, right? All you've done is become a founder and you've paid your activation fee. Now let's compare that with an active founder or an active person in the company. This is someone who wants to be active in order to have a greater income and to have that income come in faster. So you're cutting time frames, as they say. So this is a person who is going to share Onpassive with friends, family, colleagues, and whoever you love and care about, you share. And as these people come into your customer base, they become part of your quote unquote team or customer base. And you will be earning on the purchases that these customers make. So if you choose to be active, your income will be significantly higher and you will earn this money faster. But again, it's all relative, because if you choose not to share, you're still going to make good money. You know, this is why we say Onpassive is for everyone. Regardless of your sentiment about sharing, you're still going to do well no matter what. Does that answer that question on active versus passive?
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, absolutely. I think people need to understand that, you know, it doesn't matter about whether you're active or passive, as long as you get in. That's one of our sayings, is as long as you get in as a founder, then learn later. You know, if there's anything that you want to learn, because this becomes your business. We don't go to work for Onpassive. Onpassive goes to work for us. So you can be passive. That's the reason why, is because we aren't working for Onpassive. 100% Onpassive goes to work for us. If you want to share with people, that's absolutely fantastic, because you know what? It's hard to contain this and keep it to yourself. You know, you want to share it with those, you know, and sometimes family, friends have heard things before from you and have said, oh, what are you doing now? You know, so sometimes it's not always easy to share it with those people, but in your heart, you know that you have shared it because you love and appreciate them and want them to also see the benefits of Onpassive as a founder. I think our main thing now is founder positions will be closing off shortly, and you will never again be able to buy a founder position within Onpassive. So thank you, Lynn. Did you have a question at all? Or
myself? If I have a question?
Yeah, you had your hand up. I just didn't know whether you had a question as well.
Oh, that was to say I would answer the question that you asked.
But, wonderful. Thank you, Lynn. Tiana has her hand up now.
Right.
All right. The interpreter is unmuted, so they may have to click *6 to speak. But
hi,
go ahead,
can you hear
Tiana.
me, everyone?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear my interpreter?
Yes, thank you.
Hello there. My name is Tiana, and wow, thank you so much for Lynn, for talking about this and for me learning about that, all of the good information for me to know what is good for me to know and to be ready to get that backup money and make sure I have it saved and ready to go, and to know how everything is before I get my my customers. So I know that I'm ready. I've got the $97, and then I'll be ready for that, and then to keep saving with it for maybe 3 teams to build my teams up. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm learning from you, Lynn, all about the things here that I can start saving for right now for the future before we launch everything. So right now I want to know what to do before. I guess, Lynn, thank you very much for your good ideas and for what I need to do at this point before we start, and to know about my opportunities to go ahead and set up and start saving the money now to be ready. So, and then just also to work on getting a team together. So thank you for all of your help, and for all of the community, the deaf, blind people, and everyone. It doesn't even matter, you know, from we can work too as a team. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, you know, and I'm going to start building my team, and I just wanted to thank you. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Tiana. It's so lovely to see you here. And you're right, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, you can be deaf, blind, tall. Marty always says fat, skinny, you know, black, white, brindle, doesn't matter. Onpassive is made for everyone. And the support that the deaf community or the hard of seeing communities have within Onpassive is truly, truly amazing. You know, no other company goes out there to help those who are less fortunate than ourselves, to go out and help those who are, you know, deaf, blind, to be able to have those facilities available, you know, or the platforms available where they can come on and also be a part, you know. So thank you, Tiana, for always coming on and sharing. I just want to share with everybody here also that the $97 is US dollars. So wherever you're coming in from, it will be different in your country. Make sure that you have a look at the price or Google the price as to the difference. So 97 US dollars, and there is a $5 admin fee, which is what the banks charge to be able to process that. So it's not a fee from Onpassive, it comes from the bank. So thanks again. I do have one question for Dr. Derek again, before I have a look and see if there's any more questions. Why would people want to have more than one position, Dr. Derek? You know, Pete, you talked about, or, you know, somebody spoke about having more positions, you know, or saving up that money if you have more positions. But why would people want to have more than one position?
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, you don't have to. It's really not necessary. But if you so desire, because you know, it's your business, and that is what we need to understand. It is your business that you are developing. So if you want to develop more than one business, or you want to get a business for your friends and family, or for a cause, or for an organization, or for a church, or for your community, or for your country, whatever you want to get, it's up to you. Just remember, that you need to manage it. You need to fund it initially. You have to fund that position first with the 97 and then with the approximately 250. And so you can have any amount of position. It's not mandated. Ash Mufari always says one position will do the job of making you financially free. Just one. So, but if you want 5, it's your decision. Just know that you need to have the $97 for each and the approximately 250 for each. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. It's always important for us to learn why, somebody else would want more than one position. And I think as we come in and we learn more about Onpassive and we learn about what is available to us, not only as a founder, but, to then go on as this being your own business, like that is really incredible. Can you imagine having a bricks and mortar building or a business where somebody comes in and does all the work for you, so you're cutting hair and stuff like that, but this is that online business. So in comparison, somebody's coming in, they're like standing behind you and clicking all the buttons. You're just sitting there watching, the commissions come in from the customers, the resellers. There is so much available. I think having everything on one platform is huge for me. I'm a person who has maybe 20 tabs open on my computer every single day, whether it's YouTube videos I want to watch, whether it's different email accounts, the back office is always there so I can pop into it and see what's happening. So we all have lots of tabs open or lots of login details. And we have to keep them. Either we write them down, we keep them in our head, which is probably not a very good idea as you get older. But, you have to change those passwords every now and again as well. So it is really important to know that we are going to have one login, one interface, so that is huge just in itself. So you can just log in and all of these products and tools will be available to you through that one login. So thank you for explaining, Dr. Derek, about why people would want more than one. But I'd like somebody who's actually got more than one. If you'd like to put your hand up and explain why you bought extra positions or who you bought them for, what you intend to do with it, I'd really appreciate if somebody could pop their hand up and come forward and explain why they're doing that. Thanks, Dr. Benny. Please come forward, unmute. Thank you.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. The reason why I have more, let me just say more than 10, is because my father has more than 20 children in Africa. So you have to create email to each of them. Should in case I'm not available, I will provide them with the information. I have some for my children, some for my aunties. So you just want to spread the news and then give it to your family, should in case you are not there, because a lot of them need serious help. And there are certain non-profit organizations that some of these orphans, they need serious help. So I created an email for those individuals. That is the reason why I have more.
Thank you,
and I will manage it, and I will take care of it, and I will help them. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's an amazing thing that you're doing for those who are less fortunate than ourselves. So thank you once again for coming on and sharing that with our founders and guests this evening. Richard, we would like to call you forward if you'd like to come on and say a few words about why you have an extra or extra positions, please.
Love all you beautiful men, women, and children of the world from the bottom of my heart. I've got multiple positions. At first, I was kind of scratching my head about it. But then as Onpassive evolved and the love, that love from the heart started coming. And I started listening to that little voice in my head. So I got in position for myself. I've gotten one for the wife, for the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, my sister, which is the only one left, and her 2 kids. And then once I had all that done, and I fixed it, that I put the nephews and that under, I tried to make it, everybody has 3. That's how I tried to work it. Then I started thinking, well, there's the Legion that is suffering here. That's for the vets. So might as well get one for them. And then the hospital in my town, a small town, which lost half its population since they closed the paper mill, they're struggling too. So I said, well, why not? Might as well get one for the hospital and for the Legion. And then there's the Lions that have been doing great work for blind people and other things. So I got them a position. And believe it or not, the last one I thought of, my town keeps on raising the taxes. And I said, well, I'm going to grab one for the town too, just for the fun of it, but I'll put a condition that it has to go towards people that need help paying their taxes or water bill or whatever. Or do otherwise they'll lose it, put it that way. So, I mean, I thought of the 200 or between 2 and 3, but then I said to myself, well, I got 3 over there. So I'll pay for those 3, which gives me money from those 3. And then I'll take that money and deposit it in my credit card and then use the credit card to pay for the other 3 and Tesla. As Ash said, you need 1. If you have 3, it's free. What he meant by that is that with 3 people, we'll make enough to pay our monthly fee and we'll have a little bit left. So listening to our dear accountant, I call him, our dear friend from Canada, who's always with the figures, listening to him kind of boosted me up. I think I've got one person under me that couldn't afford to get 2 people, which was one was a church in a town in the Philippines that people live in tents. So I paid for the founder's position for one of my downline. Then another one came up with the same thing. There's an orphanage in Uganda with 97 orphans, got them a position. So my dream is to build hospitals and, get schools, get food and water and in places where, irrigation will work even in the desert and make gardens. That my dream is to not give them the fish, but to teach them how to fish. That's my dream.
That's
the love,
beautiful, generous heart, Richard.
Okay, so the love from our heart is what Onpassive is.
Yeah.
And I'll leave you all with that, and I love y'all. Big kiss and hug.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you. It's always good to hear from our founders. And I think, when you first come in, as Admira has said herself, she came in for the money. She came in because she needed extra income where they live. They've been through some certain turmoils and tribulations with earthquakes or is it volcanoes? Is it the hurricanes? I think it was. But, sorry, both. Yeah. So they've been hit really hard. And I know that Admira has only come in this year, 2021. But, the difference that it will make and, those positions that we buy extra when you first come in, like I said, Admira admits herself that she came in for the money and we all need that. We absolutely, some of us struggle in life, those who have tried and have lost money trying to get to something like a business like this, those who pay out that monthly fee every month just to try and make a residual income in other companies or other platforms is tiring, because you get to a point where you think, no more, I've had enough, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then along came Onpassive, and it really brought to us something that not only was about the financials and bringing in that residual income, it was about heart, Richard. You know, it was coming together as a family. It was finding where we fit into society, and for some of us, because, you know, I had been praying for a long time, whether you believe in prayer or not, it doesn't matter. We're not going into that here. But I prayed because I had had open heart surgery back in 2015. I had a lot of struggles with that. And I was always praying, why did you keep me alive, Lord, if I have no purpose? You know, I felt like I had no purpose. But when I look back, I see that he was strengthening me to be able to be, you know, a leader in a sense, but also to be able to share who I am and, you know, the reason why I bought extra ones as well. Oh Bless is a huge platform to me. It's a huge platform as to why I came into Onpassive, because for my great niece who has cerebral palsy and can't walk yet. So I think that, you know, having those extra, I've bought one for Mimi. I found a position so her parents don't ever have to worry about her treatments, which are hugely costly. You know, just for one of the machines is $190 an hour. You know, they pay $8,000 to $10,000 twice a year just to get some extra treatments for Mimi to be able to walk. So I think when you look at Onpassive as the business, you see that, you know, there's so many platforms. It's going to be your business. You can do all of the things that you do, whether you have bricks and mortar, whether you already have an online business, you're able to set them on the platform as long as they're legal and compliant with Onpassive, and then go about your daily work. You know, maybe you want to, maybe you're a hairdresser and you really want to just help those on the street or those who can't afford haircuts. You know, it's expensive to get a haircut. It's expensive to have your teeth done. You know, it's expensive to do those things that are just normally what everyday people do. You know, they go and get their teeth seen to, they go and get their hair cut, you know, they go and buy groceries and things like that. But there are many in our world who are unable to afford that luxury, even the luxury of having fresh water. So I appreciate you sharing that with us today, Richard. And I'd like to go on to William, if you'd like to unmute and speak with us today. Thank you.
Hello. I got a position under my link for the church. So when they, for my pastor, so I mentioned to him that when the money comes in, I want to think of the taxes. So I would want to keep it under his bank, because I don't want to pay the taxes for the church. So with me and him, we're sort of really close, because I work with him at the recovery plant. So we can do things. Now he rents the church. So would be nice to have a place for, like, I'm thinking of wheelchairs. I guess it's God sent that I have to think about that, for wheelchair accessibility and things of that nature, and then going out, like buying a truck and feeding the poor. But the donuts, they make really round donuts with you can have them with peanut butter, or you can have them with hot sauce. So I think they would really appreciate that. That would be a really good thing for the kids to get involved with. But those are things like Oblast, she, the lady there, puts clothes in the bins and flies them to Cameroon, and so you can do them to all countries of that nature. And I got one for my family and my friends, and I bought a position from Marty. They were old positions, so I said, why not? I sent Onpassive to them, but you know how family is. They never think of anything what you're doing. They're more thinking of what they're doing. So they'll appreciate it when they said, well, I should have listened to you, but you know how it is. I say, well, it's not an all loss. I got one for my sister Diane and Gail, because they have children too, so they're a grandmother, so it would be nice to have a little residual income for them. So
I think it's really important, William, you know, like you said, you've bought a couple of positions for your family. You know, sometimes our family, like I just said before, they don't always listen to what we have to say, because sometimes we've shared stuff with them over the years, and those other online businesses or whatever haven't actually done what we thought they were going to do, because somebody promised us that they were going to help and
they
help
always
make us
turn into
successful.
a failure.
Yeah, and that's right. They take it as, if you've done it once and you've failed, then everything that you touch, you're going to be failing at. And it's not true, because every time you fail, and I don't like that word fail, because to me, they're all lessons in life. When you have lessons in life, you learn and you take a step forward in knowledge. You take a step forward in life because you've learned that lesson. You know, I've been through many lessons in my life, and believe you me, the Lord keeps sending them to you because you don't listen. I am blonde, and I do understand that perhaps that's the reason why I don't always get it. But the lessons in life come and we learn from them. The thing is, not everybody is on our journey. Everybody's on their own journey, and we all learn at different stages of life. We all learn different things as we go through life. But, you know, having that big heart, William, to be able to provide firstly for your church and then for your family is something that they will never be able to really thank you for. And it's not that you want thanks for it. It's just that you have so much love in your heart that you want to share it with them. But they will be very thankful that you did what you did. So thank you for sharing with us today.
I need to give Richard a hug.
I think Richard would like to hug the world. I have David Otto. David, if you'd like to come on, please. Thank you, William, once again. If you'd like to unmute David, please, and share with us.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I bought a position because, well, back in 1987, I was doing construction. I had an accident, and it took them 5 years to find it. It turned out it was a split vertebrae. Normal x-rays weren't detected. So I had a CAT scan, and they found it, and that was 1992. So I had a surgery, and it ended up dissolving. The bone graft dissolved. So I was still okay, but then 2004, I was in a car accident, and I got hit on both sides. And what that did, the force of impact on my right side, it shifted the pins in my back. And now today, it's just left me totally like bent over type thing. I can't stand up straight. And the upper part of my body is more over my left. And my doctor, I asked him if I could get a surgery to fix it, and he said I wouldn't survive it. So I figured, well, I've got to do something. So I turned to the internet and I tried affiliate marketing, and that didn't work out too good because I was left in a pretty bad debt, and they all disappeared. And it was 8 months after that I found Onpassive. So I joined it, and I didn't really know what it was, but I just stuck with it because when I heard the recording from Ash, I knew right there. So I didn't hesitate. I just jumped aboard, and it's just been mind blowing all the way. And I did buy some extra accounts for some friends that I thought would really need it. And one passed away, and the other one isn't doing anything with it. And my a good friend had helped me out through some hard times when I was in that debt. Like I was at my keyboard almost 24/7. I wasn't eating. I wasn't doing anything except like fading away. So he come up and see me and, explain some things to me. And then I didn't let that pressure bother me anymore. So I'm still in debt, but they can wait. I know I'm going to be able to pay them back. And from there, I'm just going to do what I can to help anybody and everybody that needs it. So, I mean, I can survive on very little. So, like I see, I don't need a lot, but there's a lot of people out there that do. And I've tried telling people and they just look at me like I'm nuts. That's how bad that everybody sees the internet. But, I know we're going to change it. We're going to change a lot. Yeah. And those that didn't listen, well, I'm going to tell them, well, you should have listened,
Yeah, sometimes, David, I found, and just taking it from Marty again, from what I've heard Marty say is sometimes drip feeding them. They may have said no the first time, but just send them somebody else's presentation. Just say, hey, I thought you might want to listen to this, or we're still going. And so people actually know, and drip feeding them is really important because you yourself may have hesitated. Many on here may have hesitated. Many took time out to actually look into Onpassive to find out more about it. Not everybody trusts the person that it's coming from. And it's not personal. It's just their behavior as human beings that they automatically put their defenses up because they've been hurt before. So they're just protecting themselves. So sometimes it's nice to just send out another little email or another little private message in Facebook and say, hey, been thinking about you. Thought you might like to see this one, and send them out. Dr. Derek's presentation today with the analogy of the bamboo plant, send them out. Mike Ellis's little about the milestones of Onpassive. There are many videos out there, but they don't have to be big and long. They just have to be informative so that they might actually see it. So that's what I just suggest to everybody. Today, have a think about that. If you've got people on your list, if you've got people, don't you hate that word list? Oh gosh, how many times they've been told to make a list in other companies. So I'm not going to say a list. I'm going to say, if you've got people that you've sent it to, then just resend something small, because it sometimes takes, I know with Marty, it took 7 times for him to send information and drip feed David Bacow from PNG, before David actually saw it. And again, it wasn't about trust. It was about seeing that vision. When you share about a vision and other people see the vision, they want to come on and be a part of it very, very quickly. So if I can just suggest that, David, but thank you for sharing today.
Okay, well, I have tried and I keep trying, but they just will not listen. So,
yeah, I know. I know.
So I guess they will once it starts.
Yeah. There are many of us in that situation, but you either give up or you bought them a position, or you just like I said, just drip feed them a little bit of information. Those presentations are very amazing as to what's coming out and what's happening, and the opportunity is sneaking away. There won't be that opportunity anymore. So, but thank you again for sharing. I'm just going to continue for now, but I don't see any questions as yet. I know that we've got a couple of people just listening in and sitting back, taking in what's being said today. And I'm glad that it's informative for some that, didn't know about the active and passive, because it is hard to understand some of those things sometimes. So if you would like me to continue on, Dr. Derek, we'll just go for the next hands. That's okay. So, Momodu, sorry, I am not very good with pronunciations. If you would like to unmute yourself, if you'd like to share with us today, Momodu.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, how you all doing? I just want to thank you all for what you're doing. I'm at work. I don't know if you see my camera. Right now, I just put my food. I want to take my break, but I want to participate into this conversation. Why you need more founding position. You know, for me, the reason why I have more founding positions than the one I'm supposed to have is I'm here in America, but I was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa. So my dad had a lot of children. So it's about 12 of us now living. And among these 12, my dad had about over 200 grandkids and great grandkids. And it's only two of us are here with the 12 kids. Only two of us are here. All the 10 are back home plus the 200 grandkids. So since I came to this country, I've been working. I'm working in a nursing home. I work 2 jobs. So things has not been easy because whatever you receive here, you have to take care of yourself here, and then you take care of those back home. So my own wife and kids, I have 2 children. They are back there. So I decide when I bounce into this opportunity, I decide to register myself, register my wife, my 2 kids, and then those 10 brothers and sisters, I started taking one each. So right now I've got about 6 extra founding positions plus my own. So I know if everything goes well, it will be more income for those founding positions that will be able to take care of the rest of the family and whatever help we want to render one in our community and the country as a whole. So that's one of the reasons why I have more than one founding position. The problem I have, my elder brother, whom I live here with, he is here with his own kids, but he never buy into this idea. I've tried all my level best, but he don't see there is something. So I just put him aside and decide to help those at back home. So that's the reason when you ask, oh, why you have to have more than one founding position. So those are some of the reasons why we have more, because when you are here, you can help everybody down there. So if you bump into any opportunity that will change your life and your family's life, so you have to extend it to those who are back home. So those are
Absolutely.
some of the reasons why we have more than one founding position.
Yeah, thank you, Mamodu. And I find that, people who are sharing and people who I've spoken with before have the same love and compassion for their families, as most people are buying either for their positions for their family, for their children, but also
Yes,
for the community, to have that extra one, have an
exactly.
extra position to be able to help your community, or whether it's not your community, but whether it's those less fortunate. Because one of the things that I say is when we are blessed, we want to bless others,
Oh,
so
yes.
I think that's really important of what you've done. And thank you, Mamodu, for sharing with us today.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to say hi to Mr. Chris Johnson.
He the man.
Hi, Mamodu. How you doing, buddy?
He
Good.
got a new hat,
Okay,
I
take
think, must have
care.
been sent to him.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you
Represent the
so
D.
much.
Okay.
Detroit, by the looks of that, which I have no idea where that is. But anyway, I know it's over there somewhere. Teresa, you did have your hand up. So do you want to, please come out and unmute. Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to say that I'm really inspired by all the sharing about buying accounts for other people. I mean, this week when Ash came on, somebody asked him a question, what are founders supposed to do? What are they not supposed to do? One of the things he was talking about, he says, it's the vision, what we can do together. The more you serve others, not only just for yourself, but to serve others. And in this group, there's certainly a lot of people thinking and taking action to serve others. And they are directly following the vision of Onpassive. He wants us to think outside of our personal need and help somebody else. And I just want to say, I'm so inspired listening to all these people who are thinking outside of their own personal need and finding a way to help somebody else. I am totally proud of each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Teresa. It's always lovely to hear from you. You're an amazing lady. And I think you're right. You know, you also live over there close, I presume, to Admira or within the same vicinity.
No, I actually am in Canada. I'm closer to Michael Williams.
Okay. That's not a bad person to be close to. But I know that your heart. I know that your heart is huge.
I am wishing to be in the Caribbean because until COVID stuff started, I was going every year in the winter. Beautiful. And we are now 2 years unable to travel. So, you know, that's a real loss for us because my bones really like all that heat.
Yeah. And what a beautiful place to visit. I mean, in the winter, particularly.
So Elmira is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And when I go to Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. Okay.
Right. And so I just met Elmira on the Zoom. And she has inspired me to do some things. It's interesting.
Yeah. And it is. I think we all inspire each other. You know, there are certain parts in our lives and journeys that we go through that somebody might click today and go, oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't know that, or I really resonate with that, or I've been through something similar in my life. And that's how we inspire others. We inspire by being ourselves, you know. The message before, you know, that somebody said about, you know, you can't be like anybody else. And those people who've made false or empty promises, they thought they were doing the right thing too. They thought that they would be able to help you, you know, because they wanted you on their team. But the thing is, they were driven by the financial gain. They weren't driven by heart. When you're driven by heart, you want to help people, you want to bring them on, you want to share, you want to buy more positions, you want to do all those things because you're driven by heart, because it doesn't matter whether they do or they don't, you know, because you're doing it anyway, you know, whereas in those last positions, you know, or in those other companies, and there's nothing wrong with them, the platforms are just a lot older, and Onpassive will certainly take over from that. But when you want to share with somebody about Onpassive, it's so easy because you're not having to sell or recruit. We don't need extra people to come on. In actual fact, Ash Mufareh didn't need us. He didn't need us as founders. He could have quite easily have gone on and done this by himself and been like those other CEOs in those other companies where they kept all the financial gain to themselves. You know, that's the difference here. And people need to understand that this is a company with heart. That's why Ash says it himself. Because when you see that first, you know, initial, oh my goodness, this is going to change my life, then you think, how can it change other people's lives or their worlds? You know, just to be able to think about that fresh water or those clothing, or, you know, I help a young gentleman in Uganda who has 8 orphans. They don't have an orphanage. They just live in a shack. You know, there's 9 of them sleep on 3 mattresses. You know, It's about going in and finding those people. You know what? I bought a position for him, not because, and I'm going to support it. I'm going to do the subscription to get it started. You know why? Not because I want to control. I am saddened by the fact that these people have to ask for donations all the time. I am saddened that they sit out in the streets, you know, begging for money or food or anything. You know, I'm saddened by that. But do I live there? No, I don't. I live in Australia. We have a very rich country. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm rich, but we have a rich country. We have food available. We have a government that pops up people all over the place here with Centrelink or Social Security payments. But I gifted that position because that person lives where they are. They know what they need. They know their community. He wants to build a school. He wants to build some shelters for his people, because I can't do that from where I am in Australia. You know, I can donate, but this is about making people responsible, but also bringing that compassion, that you trust that person. For years, they've lived the way that they have. They've lived on the street. They've not had anything. They probably questioned many times as to why, but you won't find a stronger community than these people that trust and believe that their lives are, and they will change, and it will change. And people come into their lives for a reason. You know, their hearts are just truly amazing, how they believe, you know, that the dear Lord is looking after them, will look after them. You know, they have a strength far greater than any one of us here, you know, because they continue on and they continue to be happy. How many in orphanages, except those that show you on TV because they want you to see the sadness? And we do believe there is sadness, don't get me wrong. There is sadness in a lot of these communities, but most of them, what do you see? Happy, smiling faces. They don't have TVs, they don't have internet. You know, they'd be lucky if they have one mobile phone to share between them. But as the like of PNG, you know, what do you see there? You see unity and family and togetherness and loving and sharing and blessing each other. You know, that's what you see, and that's what Onpassive is about. So thank you, Teresa, for sharing. I'm sorry if I go on a little bit too much.
Thank you.
And Mara might be.
I just want to say one more thing.
Sure.
One of the things that Ash said that we could say to all the new founders coming in is, it's already done.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. It's already done. We don't have to worry about what's coming and where it's coming. It's coming. And we'll
That's
have
right.
more than enough to share.
Absolutely, Teresa. It is coming. It is here. It is happening. Absolutely. And on that note, I think we'll go over to our hey, because he's our It's Coming man. And I think Chris would love to share something with us tonight. Thank you, Chris.
I have nothing to share. I don't know. I know nothing.
Come on.
Well,
Hey,
hey, Dr. Derek, I was listening from 2 rooms over. Presentation sounded pretty dang good. I'm excited about. Are you still doing the surprise at the end of the night, Doctor? Okay, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. But I know I talk to you guys all day long, especially now our chat groups is going crazy with Listra, Pam, who else is jumping on there? Exciting week. I don't know, man, I wish I could give you something, but I can't, because I don't know. I don't think I know. Do I know? No, I don't know. So I can't really tell you anything. But one thing Ash did say is that, Charles, I'll see you before Friday. He did say that. What does that mean? I don't know. I have a lot of I don't knows tonight. But the most important thing I can tell you is be ready. Stay excited and be ready. Because one guy gave us all something that we're going to be able to celebrate for the rest of our lives, and it's going to go on generation after generation after generation, because I believe Ash's mind is 100 years in advance than anyone else's. I think he's got ideas that'll probably blow us all away even more than what's happening. I think these 50 products are the starting point of things to come a lot bigger than he realizes. I think he has dreams in his head as a kid of what he wanted to do in his life. And I think you're going to see that. What does Marty call him? Frankenstein? I think you're going to see Frankenstein come out with all kind of things that we probably never even heard about, because I really believe he's going to capture all brand new technology. I don't know what's going to be after AI. I don't know. But I think that he's already got it in his head. He looks very confident, very sure of himself. He's letting us know to prepare for this life change that we're about to come into. But he's also letting you know that there better not be a kid in this world running around without a pair of shoes unless he took them off. There better be no kids walking 3 miles for water unless they were just going to the beach to swim. All right. There's a lot of things as founders we're going to be able to fix. Go have your fun. Enjoy your life. But every time you see someone that needs help, that's how we repay Ash back. We get out and we help people, and we keep doing that. All right. Because who else would have done this for us? How many promises have we been made through our lifetimes? You know, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Man, I can tell you, I know this is happening. And I will say what Teresa, it is a done deal. Okay. You guys have witnessed Ash, some of you 3 years, some of you 3 months. You've seen his big change in the last 4 months. What he looks like on camera, his presence. He's a lot more comfortable. He's relaxed, even though he's going through a lot of stuff right now for me and you. But don't ever forget that. All you really got to do, all he really wants you to do is enjoy your life, but help out as many people that are suffering. That's suffered for 50 to 100 years. But let's remember that. That's the most important thing for me is we got to turn this world right side up again, because right now this world is a nightmare. There's nothing but hate. No one can make a decision. All right. I've literally turned everything off in the world, and I've really concentrated on this. And it's the best thing we all got going for us. It really is. We're going to do things that 200 years from now, these Zooms, which God knows will probably be in the air, or you can look in the air and see them out in the air. You're going to see your faces. All right. You're going to see your kids' faces, your grandkids, the original founders, the people that stuck with it through all the negativity, all the punches in the chest, all the arguments with our families, our friends. And boy, you guys are going to be loved. Hopefully they love you for the right reasons. I think you know what I'm talking about. All right. Don't do the I told you so. Sign them up as a reseller. That's a lot better than saying I told you so. Many people don't believe that's okay. That's in anything. They didn't believe in cars. They didn't believe in airplanes. They didn't believe in gasoline. There was people that doubted every one of these great leaders that built this country, that built the world. And we all know a lot of people didn't believe Jesus Christ, right? There's your perfect example. But just keep believing, stay positive. When you come across that negative, walk on by. And I can't sing, so that's all I got, Narelle. Keep smiling, you guys.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. It's always good hearing from you, even when you don't have anything to say. But I do want to say, if you don't mind taking just 1 minute, because some people on here might be new and may not have heard about the angel, oh, I don't know what you're going to call it.
The angels list?
The angels list, yeah. So
I tell you,
if you just want to share that quickly.
Angels list is something where Ash Mufara will be coming to Michigan to sit down, myself, Peter, and a gentleman named Jeffrey. I don't know if you guys know Jeffrey yet. To start in Michigan to get rid of homelessness, literally get rid of it. Once we get that program going, once we get that life-changing system going, it's going to be basically patented, and we're going to take it out through the entire world. And I decided I'm going to start early and build an army of angels. All right. I got a lot. And if you want to be on that, what's going to happen is once we get this blueprinted, documented, patented, I'll be calling the angels, and we're going to start doing it. I mean, we got people in every country, every state, Providence, you name it. All right. 3 people in a small city can do amazing things with some of the stuff that's coming at them. But the first thing we want to conquer is homelessness, get people off the streets, not just in America, Africa, Vietnam, Korea. There's people all over the world who don't have houses. There's people that just don't have jobs, living on the streets with 1 or 2 kids. That's everywhere. So if you want to be an angel, just PM me. If you're on my Facebook, just all I need is your name, your country, or your state, and I'll put you in the Angels book, and we'll go from there. Thanks, Narelle. I forget about that every other day because I talk about it every day.
That's okay, Chris. And yes, it is something that we can talk about every day. But just for those who may not have heard about it, because you might be new to this presentation, you might be new as a founder, contact Chris, give him your name, your details, you know, where you're from, just so he can add you to that list, because together we can make such a huge difference, you know, that ripple effect that can go out all over the world. We can do a lot as one, but we can do so much more with many. So thank you, Chris, for sharing that today. I see.
Council.
Sorry, Teresa.
Contact him through the Leadership Council. For people who haven't been at the back office yet, it's the Leadership Council that you'll find his information to contact.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you, Teresa. Kevin Rutledge, come on down.
Thanks, Narelle. I won't take but a minute. Chris got me fired up like he usually does. You know, he has that tendency, but no, I heard it's a done deal a couple times tonight, and I just want to let you know this backdrop behind me, I picked that out before I heard it's a done deal tonight. You know, I got to mix them up every once in a while. That's just the one I went with tonight. And I don't put a whole lot of weight on coincidence, you know. The other day I'm walking the dog and I saw a car with a license plate. All it said was Ash, A-S-S, A-S-H rather. I mean, yeah, we're in a very special place. I felt that for a long time. And as far as I'm concerned, we've won. And it's time to bring as many people as we can that want to go, you know. I went through that period, you know. I mean, when you're trying to help somebody and they think you're trying to get in their pocket, you know, it does something. It did something to me anyway. But yeah, just try to fight through that, you know, just because look at it this way. We know what it's like out there. Okay, we know the failure rates. Okay, we know the struggles. We know what it takes to make money online. Okay, and they've heard all the stories. Okay, and just give them a break. You know, nobody loses here. The ones with a vision, they become founders. The ones who don't, they become resellers and customers. You know, and but nobody loses. You know, that's the beauty of this whole thing. It's a vast, deep and wide. You know, and we're going to get to help a lot of people. It's exciting. October is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Buckle up, kids. Love y'all.
Thanks, Kevin. And yeah, you're right. We are all winners here. I think just from what you were just saying there, that came into my head was that if Ash had have launched earlier when everything wasn't ready, there would not have been the amount of founders, the amount of heart, the amount of giving and sharing that's going to be when we hit that, you know, say million founder figure. So it is important, you know, that the waiting or the patience that we have had to go forward together has brought even more unity. Can you see that? You know, like, is it just me, or there's more unity, there's more webinars, there's more lives, there's more people wanting, you know, to share with each other, to get to know each other. The meetups that Pam and Judy and Julie are having all over the place where they can is creating a new connection, because when we meet face to face, it is different. You know, here in Australia, we're a big country, very vast. And it, like I said, it would take 8 hours for me to actually fly to get to to meet Yvonne, and it would also take two planes to get there. So it's not something we can just organize and do on the drop of a hat, or organize within, you know, a few hours driving. So a few hours driving, I reach the next town. The next town away from me is 3.5, 4 hours away driving. And there's no founders in that town. And it's just my sister and myself here in Mackay, you know, population of 190,000. But the connection, you know, you keep connected when you stay, or you come along to webinars and you keep connecting with these like-minded people, you will find that your strength within your heart grows stronger and stronger. Because, you know, the worst thing you can be around is negativity. The worst thing you can do is be listening to that negativity all day, every day, because it just sucks you in, you know, and you're living in stress, you're living in fear, you're living in uncharted territories, because we don't know. None of us know the future. We can only look back at the past. And the reason why you look back at the past is just to see how far you've come. It's not about looking back and sitting in that and staying in that. You know, you must move forward every day. But I just wanted to share that the unity that we have here, the people who come together, the people who stay logged in, who attach, you know, who communicate, who share with other people, it really truly is a beautiful heart family. Thank you for that. Bridget, I'd love to bring you on, and James after Bridget. Thank you. And then we might look at having a look at this brand new song, Dr. Derek. So Bridget, please. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Hey.
I hope you are well all. So why Onpassive, and why more than one position? Well, Onpassive is love. I do not believe in any religion, because all what I'm aware of, I don't need just to believe. And I'm aware of love. And I know that God and love is the same. And God and love and Onpassive is also the same. So all what is love just can be fill you. It can't make you empty. It's impossible. And so when I heard about Onpassive, at first I did understand nothing. And I told them when I was in the German webinar, I do not understand anything. And it was like I heard them laughing. And Robert, who did the webinar, said, "Welcome to the club." Nobody really understands it because it's so amazing. It's so big. You cannot get it in your head. And I guess it was 4 or 5 times I visited the first webinars to understand, to get something. But suddenly I got such goosebumps all over my body. And I was full of joy, full of happiness. It was like someone took me and said, dance and be happy. And I could not imagine what happened, but it was inside me. And then it was, I have always a conversation with God many times. And sometimes it comes like, do it or don't do it or whatever. And at that time, it was like, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. It didn't stop. I remember I go to bed, I try to sleep, but it was like, Bridget, do it, do it, do it. And I said, okay, let me sleep. I will do it. I will do it tomorrow. Promise. I do it. I do it. And I found my girlfriend who invited me. And I told her, Sylvia, I have to do it. I must do it. And she said, yes, of course, you must. And from this day, there was no regret. There was just that I told yesterday some of my story. And it was like I jump, but all those nice people with all them heart catch me. They appreciate, they told me that they hugged me, and I felt like all of them hugged me. And that's something you cannot pay with money. And as you said, of course, also for me, because there was issues uh, um, with my health. I could not go to work. I could not work no more. And. But that's not the main point for me. And one person, I invite her to Onpassive, and she asked me, Bridget, what gives you the biggest joy? And I told her, maybe you will not believe, but it's the truth. The biggest joy I have is just imagine, a lot of people work very, very hard. And after they retired, what do they get? Many people get some money, they pay the rent, they pay the electric, whatever, and that's it. Sometimes they even don't have, because the rents in Germany get very high. And the police don't do nothing to stop it. It's private. And they just have money to pay the rent, to pay the electric, and they don't have enough for 1 month to eat.
It's very difficult, Bridget, and I appreciate you sharing today, but I'm just keeping an eye on the time, and there are a few here where it's getting quite late. So thank you so much for sharing. I do appreciate you coming on and sharing that.
I just want to say, that's why that's my biggest joy, to help people.
It is, and thank you for your amazing heart. You are so beautiful. And we appreciate you coming on tonight. We have 2 more hands up, and then we need to go to the new special surprise that Dr. Derek has for us. So James, if you would like to lower your hand and come on quickly, please.
Thanks, Narelle. How are you?
Right, thank you.
That's good. I'll just want to say this quickly. What Unpassive has done for me and for somebody else here. Her name is Patricia Parent. I didn't recognize her name because it was changed. And Patty, I know her as Patty. We got talking, and I realized that me and Patty played together as kids 50 years ago. Her dad and my dad were friends. And it was just ironic. It's like old connections, it's like old acquaintances being reacquainted again. It was incredible. And just wanted to say thanks to Pam as well for helping out with the meet and greet up in Stratford on the weekend. It was great. Enjoyed it. Harry's there. He was there. Robert was there. We had, 11 people there, Pam? Something like that. Anyways, so all I wanted to say is thinking about old connections, like you were talking about there, Morale. Connections.
Yeah.
Great. It's crazy. Small world, eh?
Yes, James, and I heard that you chose a very lovely place to have that connections and meet up. And like I said, it's different. And I think I heard yourself and another say how different it is when you meet in person. When you find that fellow founder, that fellow person, that fellow heartfelt, and meet them in person, what a joy it is. So I'm really, I'm not jealous or envious. I just know that one day it will happen for us all. We can all meet and, hug one another and just share each other, and our journeys. So thank you, James. Appreciate that. And what an amazing thing to meet up with somebody from 50 years ago that you played together. That's incredible.
Yeah, and Patricia's out in Saskatchewan, and she couldn't make it. She would have liked to. But I know she's here. She's listening. So
yes.
And it's amazing what a few days can do to the weather here, because we had green trees on Sunday, and now the trees are almost yellow.
Wow. It is incredible. And as you come into your autumn and then winter, I think, We're into our spring and then summer. And I tell you what, our spring is already heating up. We have 36-degree days here at the moment, Celsius, and it is hot, and that's spring. So you can only imagine what summer will bring. But that's okay. We are fortunate enough to have air conditioning, and I'm so thankful for that every single day, and a roof over my head. So, okay, so we have Mirthalin, I'm not sure I will get to you today because we're getting past that hour, but I'm just going to call on Tina from Singapore. Tina, if you'd like to come out, and then Mirthalin, we might take you quickly, and then we'll finish it off for the evening with the song.
Hello, Narelle. Hi, Chris. Hey, Chris. And all of these beautiful founders here, fellow founders here. I'm not sure if there's new guests here, but I wish you all the welcome. And I really, really love this. I love this space. And I thank you, Narelle, for bringing me out. But because I really feel about what Chris is doing with his, I call it Chris Angels, and also about what you said, giving to the heroes that does the work all in the country. I've been introduced to Onpassive by Della Marie, who's originally from Philippines, but she's in Texas, USA at the moment. And we had the bad experiences, all of us here, probably most of us here, has experience with other programs. But I came into Onpassive with that trust and belief in her and in the purpose of Onpassive. And that's why I've been telling people that I'm in this gap zone. GAP is an acronym for gratitude, appreciation that leads to our purpose. And I'm in that zone at the moment, and I'm so glad for Onpassive, because I've got heroes around the world that's doing things that amazing job. And like I said, we are Singapore is a very rich country, that if you don't know, but we're tiny, but we're really rich. But with the people that have this enough mindset and really wanting to lift others, with the opportunity of a lifetime that we have here, I'm so glad that I've managed to gift the account to heroes out in Uganda, out in Nigeria, out in Oman, and out in Malaysia, helping those the refugees and the orphans. And I'm still on it, on the purpose, on this gap zone of gifting. So Chris, hang on, I got a couple of more to be gifting. Thank you so much. I love this space, and I love Onpassive, and I'm so excited to see Ash, and hopefully I get to meet you when it comes to Singapore. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you. You're an amazing lady. And if you want to hear Tina, I think that is it Bill Must that did a couple of videos with Tina singing. So make sure you check out Bill Must's YouTube channel. He has a lot of information over there as well. So thank you, Tina. You're always a delight and very funny when you have hopefully no more bicycle accidents. I will call you forward, Mirthalin, just for 1 minute, so that we can head over, because I know people are waiting for this surprise package from Dr. Derek. So Mirthalin, if you'd like to unmute, please.
It's okay, Noel. Let's move to the song. I'm fine with that. I could speak another time. That's fine. We move to the new song.
It's okay. If you have something to share, we can share quickly. Just, I don't want you to miss out today. And I know Admira usually gives everybody the opportunity, so I'm not taking over here. Admira's show, Dr. Derek's show. I'm just here to keep things moving along. And I know that it's getting late for some people. So Mirthalin, if you would like to come out and say a couple of words, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. I just want to say thank you to Onpassive and how grateful I am Sunday, I was very fortunate to meet with the group in Bradenton. And being there in person, words cannot express my feelings. I've made new friends in person than being virtually. And it is something that I will keep close to my heart forever. Dr. Derek, he was awesome. He just explained everything so well that we all understand. And thank you very much. And that's what I had to say.
Thank you, Myrtle. And that is so beautiful. And like I said, you know, meeting in person is completely different. And it makes everything real, you know, and so thank you very much for sharing that for us this evening. Dr. Derek, I would love to have you quickly set up, or are you ready for that special song? I want to firstly thank everybody for coming this evening. I know I'm not Admira, but I've stepped in and tried to make it as interesting as possible in Admira's not being here. But we wish her all the very best. We hope and pray that she recovers quickly. She is a mum of a little one. So, you know, as mums, we tend to soldier on, forget about ourselves, but it's time for her to rest a little. And certainly by, you know, taking the night off and resting is definitely something that she needed to do. So thank you, Dr. Derek, for always doing an amazing job with your presentation. I don't think we have any other further questions or anything like that. So we'll finish off this part of the meeting and we'll go into that new surprise. Dr. Derek, please bring it on down.
Oh, mercy. First of all, thank everyone, especially from the heart of the host or the original host of this webinar, which is Admira Walker. We just want to, on the behalf of Admira Walker, to thank everyone for being here. Chris and Nerel and all the rest of person, Marty, Richard, everyone who made a comment or a contribution, James and etc. We just want to thank you all for making this another applicable and possible event that is now gone in history. And thank you very much for each and every one and your participation. Peace and love.